Hello, everyone. We are just waiting for Tetiana to connect into our live, and here she's coming. Add to stream. Hey! Are you just getting done with the workout again?
No, I literally finished my call and I was like in comfortable clothes because, why would I put on clothes that would make sense?
Oh my gosh, how is everything going?
It's been such a crazy week.
That's good though, right?
Yes and no, I guess. It's not a bad thing. We drank a whole bottle of wine last night.
Scout Cellars.
It was so much. Like, my cousin had told me of this Pinot Noir to try, so I got it, and it was fantastic. My husband's like, "Oh, this one's really good," and I was like, "Yeah, it's a more expensive one." He's like, "That's why I like it."
Right? That's usually how it goes. That's usually how
I know.
Usually how it is.
So I have my computer open so I can look to see if because I can't normally see it. I'll mute myself on one of them because we can't read the comments on here.
Well, I do have mine up and going. We'll turn them on. So I do have it set up over here for anyone that does join us, that does have a question. I think really with this being our first go, first time doing it, it really is for us to have an opportunity to connect with those that are watching and those that are going to be watching the replay.
Exactly.
So if you are watching the replay and you have a question, all you have to do is just put in the comments #replay in your question, and we'll answer that question for you. So Tetiana Alonso is with wine consultant with Scout Cellar, and we did a test last week, and this is our very first one. So we're just really, it's really all about just tasting wine and having fun. That's the bottom line. It's a couple girlfriends getting together. I put my hair up because I had my hair up in a clip all day, and I didn't feel like styling it. So I just clipped it, teased, lipstick, put some makeup on, good to go, right? So
calls for
so we're just hanging out, having wine. That's really kind of what this is. Tetiana, if you will tell everyone a little bit about you and who you are and what you're doing around Scout Cellars.
So I'm Tetiana. I'm a mom of 2 and a wife of 1. I always laugh at that because you always you hear about the kids. But then I'm like, there's a husband in there too. I am a avid person who actually works out. It's probably why I look like I'm working out and think that this is presentable to wear. I actually started Scout Cellar. So I started drinking them about 3 years ago, and I loved it. You truly don't get a hangover. And I had to go gluten-free for a while, and you just can feel a difference once you drink it. So, I drank it, no big deal. And then my cousin was in April, she's like, "Hey, I'm going to sign up with me." And I was like, okay. I mean, quarantine had just started. Everybody's drinking because what else are we supposed to do? Wine gets shipped to your door. And I'm like, well, it's not really a bad investment to try because, it's wine.
Right.
And you can't ever have too much wine because if you drink it, you're going to run out. So that's kind of how I started it, and it makes you feel good. You can drink. You can drink a significant amount. Look, I haven't been drinking yet, I promise.
Hey, it's Facebook Live. Hey, you know what? If you look at my past videos, you'll see there's fumbles all throughout it. And it's live, and you just go with it. And that's just how it is.
But that's real life. No one's perfect. You're not going to get the Instagram reality versus real life. You get the real life most of the time.
Right. And that's what really these are about. You know what I mean? They really are. It's us two. And as we move forward, we may bring some other people on. And again, it's about tasting wine, and it's the tasting wines from Scout Cellar and what they distribute. And so tell us a little bit about Scout Cellar. I do have a video that I want to share that talks about the wine. Can you tell us a little bit where it ships from,
So it all ships out of Dallas. And right now, because we're in the summer months, it's called their Safe Ship. So it's almost like a little igloo in a box. They have them lined, and then they put ice packs on them so that, wine you don't want to ever get too hot. And we're in Texas. but depending where you are, it's still super hot outside. So they do the Scout Safe Ship right now during the summer months. And then they're protecting the wine. So it all comes from Dallas. And then they get it from different vineyards, like from throughout the US and then over in Europe. So there's some wines coming from Oregon, California, France, Italy, Spain. So depending on what wine that they get at that time, and they have them in batches and they will run out. There's a good thing and a bad thing to that because they will go out of stock till they get more. So you have a favorite and then all of a sudden it's gone. But the nice thing is they actually test all the wine. They don't add any extra sulfates. It's clean crafted. It doesn't have any pesticides. They actually check it before they can actually bottle it for Scout Cellar, which is awesome. And the CEO actually goes to all the vineyards to kind of like check it out and stuff like that.
Right. That's super nice. So the wine that we're tasting, I got my bottle.
Yep.
Right. Look, you've already had some, girl.
I just poured it.
I've been saving it. Look, I like the little label there, Scout and Cellar. I like that. It's super cute. Love the zebra. It kind of goes with my, painting in I get my finger right.
Can you guys read my cup?
What does it say?
It's 5 o'clock at the North Pole.
Oh my gosh,
so,
that's
hilarious. It's Christmas in July right now. So.
Right. One of the things, so tell us about this. And one of the things I like about it is the screw cap. So tell us about this wine and what we're having tonight.
Okay. So this one's an actual sparkling rosé. The same brand has one that's not like it's a flat rosé, which does have the cork, but the sparkling does have the twist on. It is a vibrant raspberry color, fizzy bubbles, but don't think champagne bubbles. It's not going to be champagne bubbles because some people hear, sparkling and they think champagne. It is not champagne consistency. It has cherries, strawberries, blood oranges, and cantaloupe. So it's not overly sweet. They don't add any extra sugar. So nothing's going to ever be too sweet because they don't add extra sugar, which makes a difference on how you feel after. So this bottle is 13% alcohol and 3 grams of sugar per liter. So really low in sugar. But it has a good flavor. It's not overly sweet. Like some people like that really, really sweet. It's not going to be overly sweet. But it's a really good, rosé's perfect for warm summer months when it's hot if you're by the pool or, enjoying dinner on the patio, hanging out with some friends. It's just a nice.
And we've been going through this big rosé kind of I say phase, but fad or whatever. But, everything we've seen this past several months is rosé. Now, maybe not so much here recently. But heck, we're not going out. I'm not going out to the stores. I'm not seeing what's, really what they're advertising, what they're really putting out there. But this is definitely a crisp rosé. I can definitely taste the berries. In my opinion, it's a little fruity. It's dry. To me, it's a dry on the palate, right? After you have a few drinks, but it's definitely refreshing. And I can see how you can literally sit on the front porch, backyard, and, have a glass, and hang out with your friends, right?
Yes.
So it's not bad. It's pretty good wine.
And then, so one fun fact, Provence, France, actually has the Institute, the Center of Rosé Research, and they've been around for 20 years. I didn't know, I haven't been drinking wine that long, but rosé research has been around for 20 years. And I know the hype of rosé just started happening, not that long ago, like the hype of it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Rosé's always been there. And you definitely, with France, I used to be a wine rep many, many years ago. So I know enough to get myself in trouble. And, with the rosés in any wine, in my opinion, it really depends on where it's grown, right? Where it's harvested. Yeah. What's the terroir, which is basically the ground and the dirt it grows in.
Which their growth that this is from has silty sand, limestone, and clay, and vines that on the average are 40 years old.
That's beautiful. You've got some Zinfandels out there that are 100-year-old vines. It's really great when you get the older vines, if you will, and the production out of that, because the grapes become more intense as they get older. Mm-hmm. And with California wines, they're really forward fruity, and you look at your French wines and obviously Italian wines, when you're really looking at the European wines, you can really, some of them, you can taste the terroir. You can taste the dirt in the wine, right? And not literally, you know what I'm saying? It's not so much forward fruit. Where this one, it's what's the Provence?
Provence, yeah.
Province of France. So what I did is I went to my cheat sheet. So again, being a wine rep years ago, the wine director gave me a book that was written by Kevin Zarelli. It's called Windows on the World. It's a complete wine course. And it was probably the second edition or something like that when I read, because when I went into being a wine rep, I didn't know anything about wine. Nothing. So I got the book, I read it, and probably 6 months ago, I decided to get the newest edition. So like, no kidding. Here it is.
I'll have to get it.
It is way, way thicker than what it was before.
But
so
wines change in vineyards, like there's newer vineyards coming, and
it's crazy. They have a whole section on rosé. So I thought this was a pretty cute fact I wanted to share. Oh, first of all, we missed it, or I didn't know about it. The National Rosé Day in America is June 10th.
Well, we're going to celebrate on July 16th.
Exactly. I couldn't believe it. I was like, hey, I didn't even know that. Like, would they be advertising that or something? I don't know. And then also, I thought this was a pretty cool fact as well. The retail sales of rosé in the USA increased more than 50% in 2017.
Yeah, so that's when it became the fad.
Right. So there's all kinds of different things, and it is kind of funny. It says, who makes the best rosé? I don't know if you can see that, but look at who's at the very front, very top. Provence.
Oh, because so when I picked the rosé that I wanted to try first from Scout Cellar, my biggest thing was it has to be French. If it's not French, I don't want to try it first. There are other rosés that are great coming from California and, Oregon and other places. I'm not saying they're not great, but if I'm going to go straight to the source. And it's France. Like that. And hence the Center of Rosé Research for 20 years. So it's something they didn't join the fad and then started. This vineyard's been around for a long time, so they know what they're doing. It just caught on with the young, and I'm going to say it's the young ones, right? I don't know who really started it, but I'm going to go with it. Started with probably more of those, I guess it's the millennials. I mean, maybe. When it comes to those generations, they all blend together with me. Because I'm like, I don't even know what I am. I'm not a millennial, but I don't know, like, I'm not I don't know. But different ages.
The thing is, when you the whole millennial, the Generation X, Y, boomers, all of that, when you find an easy drinking wine is when it really latches on, because especially when people are first drinking wine, you're not seeing them drink a full bodied Zen or a Cab. I mean, even full bodied Pinot Noirs can be really like heavy in the tongue, right? The mouth, the tannin. Yeah. So like literally when I first started drinking before I became a wine rep, I was Kendall Jackson Chardonnay. And I found out, because it's every single year, it's the same bottle.
I forget who it was. It was Gershonweisen. It might've been, or however you pronounce that German wine. I know I'm not pronouncing it right. That and Riesling were my first two because they tended to be a little bit more sweet. Mm-hmm. And then the more you start researching, and my cousin really got me into the wine, the one who wanted me to sign up with her. And she started teaching me good wines. And I was like, oh, and people would be like, oh, try this. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Thanks. Like, because my palate had changed.
Right.
That I couldn't drink it because you physically can feel it. Like vodka with me, I've always known what my vodkas are. Like Kettle One's my favorite. Like hands down, it's my favorite. Like it more than Grey Goose, but like I've known my vodkas. Yeah. But I had to learn wine, and you have those levels. Like yesterday, we had a Pinot Noir from Oregon that was phenomenal.
Nice. Yeah, Oregon has some really good Pinots. The Willamette Valley is amazing.
Yeah, it is on my list of places to try.
Yeah,
Or visit.
I know. You can pour wine all over the place. And in fact, gosh, we can talk and talk about the wine, right? So let me show this really quick. This about Scout and Cellar and about the clean crafted wine. So I'm going to share my screen and go ahead and mute yourself.
Yes.
And we'll see if it shows up. And we'll kind of end with this. I mean, just like it's 6:45. It's really just 15 minutes sharing about the wine, what we're drinking, telling a little bit about it, where it's from. And if we find that we need to go longer in the future, we'll go longer in the future. And then we'll close. Well, after this, we'll close. And let me share my screen. Let's see what happens. Share screen. Application window, tab. Here we go. Share. Oh, hey, and I want to point out to everyone, when you're ordering the wines, you use the link within the Facebook, the Facebook invite that we send or event that we post, because you'll see at the top here, you want to make sure that you're shopping with Tetiana. So before you log in, before you sign in and get your account to order your wine for next week, you want to make sure that the shopping with Tetiana Alonso is there. If not, then what's going to happen is it's going to walk you through and ask you who your rep is. So it's just easier to use the link, order that way. Okay. I still hear clicking. I'm not sure what that is.
I'm gonna put it on mute right now.
Okay. All right. So let's learn about the clean crafted wine from grapes to glass.
Hey there, my name is Sarah Shadnix. I'm the CEO and founder of Scout Cellar. We're going to take you on a journey from grape to glass. Clean crafted wine starts in the vineyard. That's where the difference begins. All the people that are involved in clean crafted are passionate about caring for our earth, caring for their families, caring for the future generations. And we get a chance to meet them in a variety of ways through our current grower relationships. And we become introduced to them by going to their vineyards, by breaking bread with them, by shaking hands with them, by getting their soil in our boots. Right before harvest, we're checking for chemical pesticides and lots of other yucky stuff. Stuff we don't want in our bodies, stuff we don't want in the ground. So harvest is a really special time at Scout Cellar. It's an exciting time. You can feel the buzz in the air. The grapes are harvested by hand. They're harvested in very small lots, often at night or in the cool morning air. So again, the time of day matters during harvest because it protects the grapes. So after our clean crafted grapes are harvested by hand and taken to the winery, they're sorted by hand very carefully to make sure that any yucky stuff is removed. So after the grapes are hand sorted, we have to extract the yumminess that's inside of them. So for white grapes, we press them, and for red grapes, we crush them. The fermentation process is very slow, and that ensures that all of the deliciousness that's present in the terroir, that's present in the grapes, that's present in the skins and red wine is extracted slowly and perfectly so that it can be present in your glass at the end. So after wine is fermented at Scout Cellar, then it's put into some kind of an aging vessel. There's lots of different kinds of aging vessels: stainless steel, concrete egg, neutral barrels, or new barrels. So after the wine is finished aging, it's time to test it again, because we're all about making sure that we're delivering a clean crafted wine every single time. So now that the wine has passed our second lab test, it's time to put it in the bottle. So we're creating our own brands. We're bottling our own wines all around the country and working with farmers, with growers, with family-owned wineries, with the little guy, with the independent guy that are committed to clean crafted, whether for generations or that have become committed to clean crafted because of Scout Cellar. And our bottling practices are also consistent with our clean crafted mission. We bottle in lighter glass so that when we ship it around the country, it creates a smaller carbon footprint. We bottle in eco-friendly cork, and we don't use foil. It doesn't provide a benefit to the wine. It's not good for the environment. So now's the best part. We get to enjoy the clean crafted wine that was grown and made so thoughtfully and carefully. We get to pop the cork and share it with friends and family and share the story of the deliciousness of the clean crafted wine. So clean crafted is the only standard that guarantees that what goes into the bottle and into your glass is free from any yucky stuff. So there you have it. The clean crafted journey started with people and it ends with people. See, at Scout Cellar, we're all about gathering around the clean crafted wine and creating a better wine drinking experience to share with friends and family and those that we love.
All right. Excellent. Let's stop sharing screen. Excellent. So I love that. First of all, it's female.
Yes, right.
So Sarah, so that's really sweet. What sharing about what, bottling and that clean crafted, because I'm just learning about this wine, I'm excited about learning more about it and honestly, and see if it does impact me the next day. Right.
Yes. Do the challenge, drink that bottle. I mean, it's a really rough thing, but drink the bottle and see how you feel tomorrow.
All right. I'll update our Facebook event to see what it is.
If you feel awful, you tell me and I'll send you a Starbucks gift card via email.
Deal. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's just for me, everybody, for right now, right?
And let me just tell you this one thing. So on their wine club, they send you wine every month or every other month, how you sign it up. They have something called the happiness policy. Have you ever heard of a company that you try a wine and you don't like it, they'll credit you that wine?
Really?
Yes.
That's very nice. So, I like that.
And they're not going to obviously ask for you to send the bottle back.
No. Give it to your friends, right? Share it with friends.
Right? But they will put a credit. And my friend, I should tag her in it. She got a Riesling and she's not a Riesling fan. So she called them and they just automatically put the credit on her account.
Nice.
Like, how do you go wrong with that? Like, that's pretty awesome. Like, hey, you go to a restaurant, I don't like this bottle of wine and I drank half of it. Can I get a refund? They're going to tell you no. Exactly.
Well, this bottle of rosé retails for $29. Mm-hmm. Right? So $29 for this bottle of rosé. And next week, I know you and I, because this is kind of our first go at this, we did not pick a wine for next week.
So do you like a Pinot Grigio?
Okay.
So there is one. It's called Che Fico. I'm so pronouncing that wrong. It comes from Italy, but it's blended and it's almost a rosé color. It is the most amazing flavor that I've ever had in wines.
Okay. So put that in the link.
Okay.
So that way,
you know what I'm worried about? I might expedite us an order because shipping's been delayed recently. But let me find it and I'll put it in the link after. I'll probably expedite a bottle and then I'll just have to come deliver it to you.
Okay.
Because I don't know if it necessarily will come in time. It may, but I don't know if it will. Like, that's the problem.
You know what we should start doing? We should create a list of 4 wines. Hey, Priscilla, woohoo! Iron Tribe girl, right? So, Priscilla, look, you got me thinking about you, Priscilla. So what we can do is create a list of 3 or 4 wines and just plan on doing them, 4 weeks consistently in a row.
Well, and if you place a 6-bottle wine order, you get 5% off.
Okay. Well, you really should get 2 of each anyway, because if you really like it, you want to.
Or you just like, oh, I'm going to experiment on something, right? Or they have a 4-bottle wine club, and the wine club does give you free shipping, and it literally ships next day. Like, I'm not even being sarcastic. It will ship next day because it's wine club. I can always see if they know what the wine club's going to be and just go off of that, because
that's a great idea. You know see if you can find that out. We'll, next week we'll do the Pinot Grigio. Put the link in, put it on the Facebook event or put it, within the comments. And then I'll capture that when we do when I post our next event for next week, next Thursday. Mm-hmm. So you guys, I didn't really introduce myself in the beginning. My name is Michelle Briggs. I'm with Strada, Texas. Follow me on Instagram, like my Facebook page, all the social media. All you have to do is hashtag search for RELTR, the number 4, the letter U, because I am the realtor for you. And Tetiana, you want to say bye, and then we'll end this baby until next week.
Yes, my Tetiana Alonso. I'm on there with Wine Down with Tetiana on Facebook page and Instagram at Styled by Tetiana. You can see all the things. The links are on there. I will put the links in the live comments for this one, so that you guys can see it, but and then which one we're going to order for next week.
Excellent. All right, you guys, again, hashtag replay, put your questions in the comments if you have any. If you have a wine that you'd like to try or a particular varietal that you really enjoy and that you're looking for something new, place that in there as well. And we'll look at and possibly pull that up for our next tasting. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.